The following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario. If you would like to send us an email, it's very simple, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. And people have asked me, why do we have that disclaimer in front of the show, especially the part about nudity? I've got to come clean and tell you what that's all about. Several months ago, we had a guest who was wearing clothing from the waist up. They forgot that when they got out of their chair to go get a book, everything was exposed. So that's the reason for that. Becky GYDESEN is our special guest. Hey, Becky, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Geez. Thanks for joining us. New website. I see TucsonGhostCompany.com.
Yeah.
You were telling me before we hit the switches and made ourselves visible to everybody that there's a lot of changes that you've gone through. Tell us about them.
Oh gosh. I don't even know where to begin.
The beginning is a great place.
Well, basically, I've had my company and my team for 10 years, and I just decided it was time for a change. And so we basically did new logos. We kind of separated the company and the team as much as we could. So the team has its own website. The company has its own website. Completely redid the website. It's just been one thing after another. We got a nonprofit for the Ghost Society, so we're officially a profit. So, and we're planning a Paracon here in Tucson, so a lot going
on. When's your Paracon going to be?
It is actually going to be in August 19th, and it's going to be at the Fox Theater, and I've partnered up with some wonderful people that are helping me do all this.
Well, congratulations. Keep us abreast, and we'll keep our listeners in the loop on how they can attend and all the great things you're going to be doing there. Ghost hunting, ghost investigation, ghost researching. Are we any closer, in your opinion, to finding that smoking gun where no one will be able to deny the existence anymore?
I don't think so. I wish. Well, a part of me doesn't wish, because if that happens, I'll kind of be out of a job.
Well, not really, because then the mystery will deepen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But with me, I know when I started this, I got into this because I had questions, and I actually ended up with more questions the more I researched and did this. So I don't know. I think the more you get involved, the more theories you kind of come up with, and the more you kind of start to think about things.
What is your most prevalent theory right now when it comes to ghosts? Who they are, what they are, where they are, and why they just don't go to the light?
Well, I definitely think, they're just people, just in a different form. I don't think it's anything evil or anything to be scared of. And I think sometimes it's just personal reasons that they don't cross over, maybe out of fear, maybe out of unfinished business. But they definitely want to stay here, and I feel like it's their choice. And I do feel like you also can have people come back and visit you. So people that have crossed over but can still come back and kind of like say hi to you type thing.
As the awareness crosses the veil because of the work that you and other credible paranormal investigators are doing, are those on the other side trying more and more to communicate with you folks?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've had more experiences, and I've gotten more sensitive since doing this. So I definitely think that the more you do it, the more you kind of open yourself up for it.
Since you and I last talked, where have you folks been investigating and what have you found?
Well, basically, I can't honestly remember the last time we talked, but I've been working
Tuesday,
with, go ahead.
Tuesday, November the 8th.
Wow, you have it all written down.
Yeah.
That's what you get for being professional. Basically, I think we've been working with a residential case, which I am allowed to talk about.
Okay.
Her Mercedes, she was actually featured on the Dead Files. So she was one of the episodes they did. And ever since then, we've been working with her and we've been continuing the research and continuing to find the evidence and who's been out there. And that's been the major thing that we've been working on with investigation wise. Like I said, behind the scenes, we've been doing a lot
Mhm.
with the Paragon and the websites and everything. But investigation wise, we've been working with Mercedes a lot.
Are more and more people coming to you to join your team and to learn more about what it is you do so they could do it themselves?
Somewhat. Right now, we're kind of focusing on other things, so we haven't really been
Mhm.
accepting new team members, and we've been approached a lot, and we're like, just give us a couple months and then contact us. But it's good to see. I love to see the fact that people are interested and they're wanting to join and learn more. So that's a great thing.
Is there a time of the year where those on the other side want to communicate more? For example, is there a time when the veil, as so many like to call it, is thinner and making it more accessible for the communication between both sides?
I haven't really noticed a difference, to be honest
Mhm.
with you. I usually, I mean, of course, you got slower nights, you got, busier nights, depending, but I think to me, all year round is about the same. We've actually started to kind of do studies on like if like full moons and
Mhm.
weather things, do play a difference. And we're kind of in the beginning of those studies. But come back to me with that question in a couple of years. Maybe I'll have an answer.
It's a date. Are there any ghost investigators out there that have children on their team, or is that kind of left to those who are, let's say, 16 and over, or 12 or over? Is there an age where you and other professionals will say, "All right, you're too young"?
I think so.
Yeah.
I do have my daughters on my team.
Mhm.
My one daughter is turning 16 next week, and she is an active part of my team. My youngest is going to be 12, but I only allow her to do certain things with me. I don't
Mhm.
actually put her on private investigations. It's more like public stuff that I do with my company that she'll be allowed to go to places that I've been that I know what is kind of expected, but otherwise I won't take her. Um, Not necessarily because I'm afraid that the ghosts are going to harm her, but more along the lines of the people we interact with. I don't need her being around some of those people that we deal with, to put it nicely.
What kind of people do you interact with? As a mother, you have to take the protective role and say, "No, these aren't going to be nice people."
Yeah, and that's precisely it. Some people that we deal with, um, that I've always said to be in this field, you kind of have to be a psychiatrist along with
Mhm.
an investigator, because some of these people, it is more of a mental thing over an actual paranormal thing, and some of them just aren't all there sometimes. And I'm not saying all of them, don't get me wrong. I've met some wonderful people, but there are those people that you have to be aware of. And so unless, I've been around them, I don't want to expose my daughter to that right away or anything like that.
Now, if memory serves me correct, you were raised in a haunted house.
Yeah.
Uh, and I would imagine that is part of the catalyst that brought you to where you are today. How does this differ from the home upbringing that your 2 daughters have had? Is your house haunted, or is their love for the paranormal based on their mom and the great work she does?
Um, a little bit of both. We do have ghosts, but it's not the house itself that's haunted.
Okay.
It's my work coming home with me. Some, kids have parents that work at bakeries and they get to bring home cakes,
Mhm.
kids, they get to bring home ghosts. But yeah, my work sometimes follows me home. So they have had paranormal experiences in our house because of that. My youngest, like I said, who's going to be 12, she's still on the fence on it. There's some things that she finds interesting and that she loves, other times where she's scared of it. But my 16-year-old, she's really starting to get into it and really interested in it.
Is there one aspect of the paranormal investigation routine that you like better than others? For example, do you enjoy an investigation that is in an older house, or in a haunted theater, or in a haunted graveyard? Or do you just love investigating the paranormal no matter where it is?
I love it no matter where it is, but I have to admit, I am drawn to historical locations. I love the history. And I think that's because of the fact that I was raised in a house that was built in the 1800s.
Wow.
I have that love of the old buildings. So those are like my favorite.
Becky, stand by. You and I have to take a quick break. And Exonation, Betty GYDESEN is our special guest, www.tucsonghostcompany.com. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. We'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue talking about the weird, the strange, the paranormal. Don't go away.
Question: what is the name of the unique blend of coffee you get that has been formulated by a neurologist, a neurobiologist, and a pharmaceutical chemist? Answer: you get Beautiful Mind Coffee, a unique coffee blend that tastes great and has herbal ingredients that your brain will love, and it is not just coffee, it's brainalicious. Dr. Rathbone, Dr. Jang, and Dr. Winslow, the scientific team that created Beautiful Mind Coffee, decided to collaborate on a coffee focusing on brain health. As for those herbal ingredients found in Beautiful Mind Coffee, Dr. Rathbone, Dr. Jang, and Dr. Winslow, utilizing their combined extensive scientific research background, worked with many natural and herbal products until the exact formulation that is found in Beautiful Mind Coffee was created. With a unique scientific formula not found in any other coffee being sold or served, Beautiful Mind Coffee is the only coffee blend that contains 3 herbal ingredients found to aid in boosting your daily mental clarity and focus. Every cup of Beautiful Mind Coffee contains scientifically formulated amounts of maca root powder, green tea extract, and American ginseng, all supporting good brain health. Taking care of your brain's health now can help delay or prevent the onset of cognitive dysfunction, including dementia, Alzheimer's, and more general memory loss as you get older, just by enjoying the delicious flavor of our roasted coffee and herbal ingredients found exclusively in Beautiful Mind Coffee. Did you know that cognitive dysfunction also refers to deficits in attention, verbal and nonverbal learning, short-term and working memory, visual and auditory processing, problem-solving, processing speed, and motor functioning? For more on Beautiful Mind Coffee, the 3 scientists who formulated Beautiful Mind Coffee, and more details on the 3 unique herbal ingredients in Beautiful Mind Coffee, visit www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca. Beautiful Mind Coffee is now available online at amazon.ca and amazon.com. To order Beautiful Mind Coffee, visit www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca today.
Becky GYDESEN is our special guest, www.tucsonghostcompany.com. And Becky, during the commercial break, Craig asked me to ask you a question. Craig is my producer and best friend for the last 30 some odd years.
Okay.
He's also the cheapest cheapskate I know. So I'm going to pay for that one later. His question, Becky, is when a tornado goes through an area, because of all the tornadoes that have been happening in the Midwest these days, he'd like to know, does it aggravate or cause an increase in paranormal activity because everything has been disturbed? For example, I would imagine homes where there are hauntings and spirits reside, if they're decimated, do these spirits go somewhere else, or do they remain on the site where the home was that was blown away by the tornado?
I would think that they would stay on site, and I would think that it probably would pick up activity because anytime there's things like
Mhm.
renovations and stuff, it picks up activity. So I don't see why, some type of disturbance wouldn't make a difference. Now, I studied that, so I can't say for sure, but in my opinion,
Well, there you go, Craig. Craig said, "Thank you very much, Becky,"
of
and he didn't. It's his turn to buy the chicken wings tonight after work. I don't know if he will after what I just said, but what the heck? You said that sometimes you bring work home with you.
yes.
Is there any way that, well, how do you protect yourself from work actually taking part in what you're doing? How do you protect yourself when you're doing the investigation? And if you protect yourself during the investigation, why do these people follow you home?
Well, I think for my reasoning is I hate to admit it, and I've been told a million times, but I am very sensitive
Mhm.
and I have abilities when it comes to the paranormal. And I think because of that, the ghosts know that I can sense them and feel them. And so they tend to follow people that can do that. And I think that's why they follow me. I think for the most part, I don't think my team members have ever had anything like that happen. I think it's been basically me. And when something follows me, I figure they have more to say to me. So I don't really react too badly about it unless they start to scare my children. Then I do cleansings of my home.
I often wonder if spirits have the same ability that humans do. There are some humans who are empathic and can feel what others feel, and I was just wondering if this could be a possibility. Why, in, for example, your case, that ghost gravitate you because they know that you're there. You have the ability to understand them, hear them, and feel them, and take them home with you.
I think that could be it.
Yeah.
They know these things and not, it doesn't happen all the time, but some of the times it does happen. And I don't mind as long as, they don't scare my kids. When they start messing with my kids, when I mind.
How do you get rid of them, or how do you boot them out of the house?
I kick them out. No, I do a cleansing, and my cleansing is basically I use holy water and lavender, and then I just say a prayer, and I basically tell them they're not welcomed here anymore.
I was talking to somebody the other day who told me that there are certain groups that actually have dogs that have been trained to be paranormal investigators. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about that. I've wanted to do it. Unfortunately, my dogs, I think, are way too hyper to do things like that. So I've taken some of my dogs with me on
Mhm.
investigation. And it's interesting. I had one dog in particular that she refused to go in this one area. She like wouldn't go in it for whatever reason. Um, my other dog, I tried to, I was like, oh, I'll train her when she's a puppy, but she was just too hyper, and all she ever wanted to do was jump around and play. So it didn't work very.
Where has been the most haunted place that you and your team have investigated?
Um, well, there's places that I can't say that were really active, but the
Okay.
one that I will focus on that was very active that I'm very upset about was it was a place called Bum Stair, and it's been torn down and it's no longer there. I kind of wonder if the spirits are wandering around an empty lot right now, but it was very active. Every time we went there, we got reactions, we heard footsteps. That's also one that I had a spirit follow me around for a while from. So it was very interesting. I really loved it. I wish they didn't tear it down, but they did.
Have you ever heard of anyone being physically assaulted by a spirit?
Yeah, I have. I've been scratched,
Really?
and I've had like my hair pulled and things like that, but I don't look at it as necessarily being negative, because I'm asking them to interact with me. And I think that sometimes it takes them scratching me before they actually get my attention because I don't feel it right away.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of worse things happening. I've been sick at investigations where I was feeling fine, and then all of a sudden I feel really, really sick, and I have to remove myself from the situation. And as soon as I walk out, I feel great. So yeah, it does happen.
How can something that cannot be seen have the ability to physically scratch you?
I don't know. Their energy is definitely different than ours. And that's why I don't really think that it's necessarily bad, because I'm thinking
Hmm.
maybe trying to touch you and get your attention. And because their energy is different, you're not feeling it. So they're doing it harder and harder and harder. And it just ends up being a scratch. And I think sometimes, like when I was made to feel sick, I'm thinking that maybe they're communicating with how they died or something that was wrong with them. So I don't always look at it as bad. If I don't feel like it's anything bad, I think it's just their way of communicating. Now, how they're capable of doing it, I don't know. That would be something that I would love to know, but they are definitely capable of it.
Something that has always puzzled me is EVPs.
Yeah.
How is it that you cannot, or you used to not be able to hear the reply when it's being said, but when the tape is replayed, question answer?
Yeah, that's a cool thing. And this has been around for, quite some time, and it was kind of like discovered by accident, from what I'm understanding. I don't know. I There, like I said, it's just like imprinted on the recorder somehow.
Hmm.
It's definitely interesting. I've had a lot of answers to EVPs. Sometimes they're not right away though, which is funny because you can ask something and you can get the answer like 5 minutes later. But it's definitely interesting, and that's like one of my favorite parts is reviewing the EVPs.
It must take you a long time to review all the data that you collect, because I would imagine you have video recorders, more than one,
Yeah.
audio recorders, more than one. So on a regular investigation that, let's say, is 8 hours, how long does it actually take you and your team to review the data in order to come to some sort of conclusion about the investigation that you just conducted?
Well, basically, if it takes you 8 hours to do the investigation, you kind of times that by two for the evidence review, because of the fact that you're going to have to repeat some things,
Hmm.
hear that right and go back, repeat it. So what we do is we give ourselves deadlines. We all listen to our own evidence. Unfortunately, I'm the one that has to look at the monitors and all that stuff too, but we review our own recordings and we give it a deadline of a week. So if we do an investigation on a Saturday, we have to have, our EVPs in by the following Saturday. And then we get back to the client within 2 weeks, because we don't like to contaminate our evidence. So we don't tell each other what we hear.
Hmm.
We want second opinions. So we mark down times and we tell people, listen to this time. And then we send it to one person and say, this is what we heard. And then I go through everything. And if we get like three matches of, okay, we all say that it said yes or get out, then that's what we present to the client. So it is a process, and we try to get it done within 2 weeks.
Now, after your investigation is complete, do you give the client a synopsis, and is the client privy to the evidence that you find?
Depends on the client. Some yes, some no. But yeah, we no matter if we found anything or not, we always go to the client. We always explain things. We do our best to help them, even if we didn't find anything. So
And on an average basis, out of 100 clients, how many 100 calls, I should say, requests for investigations, what would be the actual percentage of that 100 that you would and your team would sincerely consider and actually do an investigation on?
um we used to do every single case that came our way, and that got a
Mhm.
little overbearing.
Right.
So we did get a little bit pickier, and we have a survey that we have them fill out, and we do a background check. Um, and then from there, we decide on if we take the case or not. I would say right now, we usually take about 50-50. So,
Do drugs play a major part in some of the cases that you get, as well as mental illness?
yeah, unfortunately.
And how do these people react when you say, geez, I'm sorry, we're not really interested in pursuing an investigation at your location?
We try to, be very nice about things.
Hmm.
Basically tell them is that we cannot take the case at the time. If things worsen, to keep a diary and recontact us, and we'll look over, what they're experiencing in the future. So we don't necessarily write people off. We just basically say, not right now.
A lot of people talking about demons these days.
Yeah,
In your opinion, are they real?
no,
No,
I've never ran into one. I've,
and you've done hundreds of investigations.
yeah, I've done a ton of them. I believe with all my heart and soul that basically what you are like in this life is what you are like in the afterlife. And yeah, there's some grumpy, mean people. And that's what happens with the afterlife. You're just running into those mean, grumpy people. And they're not fun to deal with, but I don't believe anything beyond that.
So why don't they just go to the light? I've some people have said, well, it's because there's unfinished business here, or they don't know they're dead.
Yeah, some don't. Or
How
some
could you? How could you know you're not dead?
I don't
That's
know.
a puzzle to me, just like the EVP is.
Yeah. I honestly, and that's one of those cases too where you have to be careful because you don't want to offend them and be like, you're dead, um, but it's just something that you have to kind of trend on lightly and be respectful to the spirits and just kind of be like, you need to understand, this
Mhm.
isn't your home anymore. It belongs to these people and things like that. I know I've ran into cases though to where they were kind of scared to cross over. And a lot of that was dealing with suicide cases. I think they were scared on what would be on the other side, probably because of their religious beliefs
Yeah.
and things like that.
So the religious dogma also is prevalent in the world of the paranormal investigator as well as on the other side.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Wow. So how do you deal with that?
Basically, the one case that really comes to mind, we were dealing with a suicide case,
Hmm.
and that spirit actually did follow me home. I had a lot of things happen in my house, a lot of things personally happened to me. So I ended up having to do a session in my house and basically had to ask. The guy's name was Carl. We did research, we knew who he was. And I had to ask Carl, what do you need? What do you need from me? And basically, he said a prayer.
Hmm.
So I had to sit down and say a prayer for him. And after I said the prayer for him and, kind of did that little comfort thing, he left. So I'm hoping he crossed over. It was an amazing thing to go through, but it definitely, I think some people are kind of concerned about that in the afterlife.
Are ghosts from every walk of life, every race, every religion, or are there some races and religions, well, the religion that the spirit believed while they were on this side of the veil, let's see. Would it matter whether you're a Catholic, whether you're a Hindu, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Jew, when it comes to being a ghost?
I'm not sure. I know, like, I believe that Carl was Catholic,
Hmm.
and Catholics, are very strict on you don't kill yourself and things like that. And I think that's why he was kind of scared to cross over. I'm not sure because that's not something I really ask when we do the investigations. I don't ask for their religious preference or
Yeah.
anything like that. I ask the living for that, but I don't really ask the spirits for that. That's not something that I feel is appropriate sometimes.
I was just wondering if a Catholic ghost would haunt a Protestant or a Christian, or if a Muslim would haunt a Jewish person.
I think if
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
haunt who's ever there, so I don't think that would make a difference.
By the way, do you have cats?
Yes, my cat is meowing in the
All
back.
right, I just thought maybe it was a ghost telling you that, watch what you answer this guy. Becky, we've got to take our break. Please stand by. Exonation and Becky GYDESEN is our special guest, TucsonGhostCompany.com. And we'll be back on the other side as we continue talking about the weird, the strange, the bizarre, the paranormal, right here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. And welcome back. Becky GYDESEN is our guest, TucsonGhostCompany.com. How's the tour business? Getting ready for a busy summer?
Out here the summers are kind of slower because of the heat.
Really? Oh.
But I actually just brought back my Tucson Ghost Tour. I had stopped it for a while and I got it back up and running now. So I'm hoping it'll pick up. We go through like little spurts, and usually May is pretty busy, May and June, but then in July and August it dies down and then it picks back up.
Because of the heat?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, people don't really want to walk around town when it's like 110 degrees. So I can't blame them.
Oh, no, I guess not. I guess not. How long are your tours, by the way?
The walking tour is 90 minutes. My ghost experience tour is actually a 2-hour ghost hunt.
Wow. And which one do you find that the tourists and the locals enjoy more, the hunt or the tour? Well, I guess the locals know the tour, and so they'd like to partake in the hunt.
It depends on their bravery, I guess, because some people don't like the idea of being locked in a haunted building for 2 hours in the dark. So some people aren't brave enough for that. So some people prefer the tour because it's an all age tour, so it's not as scary. So the people that are interested but don't want to be scared do that one.
So when you go when you take the people on the hunt, what do? Do you really lock yourselves into a haunted place?
Pretty much.
Really?
Only my husband has the key and only he can let people out. Other than that, yeah, we're truly locked into the area. And we do that for our safety reasons because of the fact that we don't want strangers, just coming in off the
Sure.
street. Yeah.
Is it always the same location, or do you change locations?
It's always the same location. We do it at Laco, which is a restaurant and some shops, and it's
Mhm.
part of the original Presidio Wall area in downtown Tucson. So it has a lot of history to it. It dates back to like the 1700s.
Becky, why do the ghosts hang around the same place? And do they ever get tired of you and your clients coming in and kind of disrupting them, or do they welcome it?
It depends. I noticed like after COVID, we were like
Mhm.
really welcomed into places because I think they were like going, "Oh my God, people again." Uh, but I think they're just like us in all reality. There's days that they're like, "Great, let's go talk and do this," and then
Mhm.
there's days like, "Ugh, I don't want to be bothered." And that's what we've ran into. So I think it's just like we are.
Does the weather affect the investigation? Is it more conducive to ghost investigating and hunting when it's thundering and lightning? And if it is, could the electrically charged air have anything to do with the increase or spike in activity?
I think it does. Like I said, this is something that we are researching. This is something we are studying, but I do think it does. I do think weather definitely does affect things. I just kind of want to see in what way and how.
Mhm.
Like I that sometimes when it's colder, sometimes it's less activity. So I'm always like curious, do they get cold? Is that why they're not, So it's things that we're trying to figure out on our own too.
What has been the largest and most significant advance when it comes to paranormal investigation? Is it some of the new equipment coming out, or is it investigative techniques?
I definitely think the techniques, equipment, no matter what equipment you use, there's downfalls
Mhm.
to it. There's great things about them, but there's always downfalls too. And every time we get a new piece of equipment, it's something that we literally have to study. We have to use it and find out, what else causes it to go off. What else, can it do? So there's always downfalls because we've noticed every piece of equipment will be set off for a reason that's non-paranormal. So we have to be aware of those things.
So you basically do a bench series of bench tests before you actually take it out into the field and investigate. Is it only the older homes that are haunted, or have you ever come across a brand new, just finished being constructed home that there's paranormal activity in?
Oh, it can be a new home. It's
Really?
basically the property. So the spirits will hang on to like the property, so to say. So you could have a brand new house and move in, but it was on a haunted piece of land, and so now the house is haunted. So
Fascinating.
yeah.
Do you do you do courses online by any chance?
No, but I've been asked to. I've actually, had people approach me lately
Mhm.
going, you should, teach this and do this. And it's something that I've been considering, but I don't know.
I think you'd be great at it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Stand by, Beck. We've got to take our final break for this hour. Exxon Nation. Becky Gedesen is our special guest, www.tucsonghostcompany.com. And we'll both be back as we wrap up this hour here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
Welcome back. Becky GYDESEN is our special guest, www.tucsonghostcompany.com. First of all, Becky, as always, my thanks to you for coming on the show, and keep up the great work. I know that you're one of the hardest paranormal workers out there. Gosh, what was the question, Craig, you wanted me to ask? Okay. Good question. When doing an investigation, the clients, can they actually leave negativity within a home that would actually work against you?
Yes. Oh, yes. Sometimes the actual haunting is of the clients. So it's their energy that they're putting out there that they are leaving behind, basically. So that is something that is a huge possibility.
And do you have any advice for people who love to do antique purchasing, going into antique warehouses as well as garage sales, and the possibility of them bringing something home with them that is actually attached to this great find that they pay for?
Beware. Just, if you find yourself in a situation and that's happening, just be respectful and don't go trashing it or anything like that, because you're just going to make it worse if you throw it in the trash because all of a sudden you're getting that activity. Call someone, there's teams all over the place. Call a team. Just make sure you never pay for an investigation, and look into the team that you're wanting to help you, but definitely reach out for help. Don't be scared to do that.
When should a person call a team for help?
When it's gotten just very concerning, or even if you're curious, if you're curious, you need to kind of have some help, just go ahead and give it a call. It's not an issue. Just know who you're contacting. You definitely don't want to have to pay for an investigation. You don't want people going into your house that are just doing this for fun, so to say. So I always tell the public, I'm like their biggest advocate. I want them to be safe. I want them to not, be scammed. Make sure you're getting a team that's not going to run in and call demon to everything.
Once again, what are your final thoughts for the X-Zone Nation tonight?
Well, I would love to kind of mention my Paracon right now, if that's okay.
I was hoping you would, and say hi to your husband. I just see he walked out of the frame.
Hey
there.
I'm really excited. I teamed up with Nexus Occult Bookshop and Oddity, and Four of Wands and Spark Project Collective, which is a nonprofit tattoo shop. So they give back to the community basically with all their earnings, pretty much. And so the four of us have come together and decided to do this Paracon, which for this year it's going to be one day,
right?
But we are looking forward to the next year's and doing this yearly and making it a full weekend.
Sounds exciting.
So exciting. And we're working with Fox Theater this year, and Fox Theater is very historical and very haunted. So we're having the speakers go there. There's 7 speakers total. And Chris Williams from Ghost Hunters is our celebrity guest. And we're going to do a ghost hunt with her after all the speakers are done. So it's, yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be one heck of a spooky Paracon.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. And, we are limited this year, but like I said, this is the first one. So this is kind of a learning experience for us to see what to do and where to take it from here.
The trip of 1,000,000 miles starts with one footstep. So away you
Ex-
go. Becky, again, my many thanks to you for coming on the show. Continued success. And I always look forward to sharing the time with you when you visit us here in the X Zone. Until then, take care of yourself.
Thank you, Rob.
Bye-bye now, and congratulations on the Paracon, and keep us advised of what's going on. Love to let our listeners know about it.
Okay. I would love that so much.
Take care. Good night, Beck.
Good.
Exonation, our guest this hour, has been Becky GYDESEN, and if you'd like to find out more about Becky, visit www.Tucson Ghost Company /society. I'll be back on the other side of the break at 6.5 minutes past the top of the hour, as once again the X Zone returns right here from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
Question: what is the name of the unique blend of coffee you get that has been formulated by a neurologist, a neurobiologist, and a pharmaceutical chemist? Answer: you get Beautiful Mind Coffee, a unique coffee blend that tastes great and has herbal ingredients that your brain will love, and it is not just coffee, it's brainalicious. Dr. Rathbone, Dr. Jang, and Dr. Winslow, the scientific team that created Beautiful Mind Coffee, decided to collaborate on a coffee focusing on brain health. As for those herbal ingredients found in Beautiful Mind Coffee, Dr. Rathbone, Dr. Jang, and Dr. Winslow, utilizing their combined extensive scientific research background, worked with many natural and herbal products until the exact formulation that is found in Beautiful Mind Coffee was created. With a unique scientific formula not found in any other coffee being sold or served, Beautiful Mind Coffee is the only coffee blend that contains 3 herbal ingredients found to aid in boosting your daily mental clarity and focus. Every cup of Beautiful Mind Coffee contains scientifically formulated amounts of maca root powder, green tea extract, and American ginseng, all supporting good brain health. Taking care of your brain's health now can help delay or prevent the onset of cognitive dysfunction, including dementia, Alzheimer's, and more general memory loss as you get older, just by enjoying the delicious flavor of our roasted coffee and herbal ingredients found exclusively in Beautiful Mind Coffee. Did you know that cognitive dysfunction also refers to deficits in attention, verbal and non-verbal learning, short-term and working memory, visual and auditory processing, problem-solving, processing speed, and motor functioning? For more on Beautiful Mind Coffee, the 3 scientists who formulated Beautiful Mind Coffee, and more details on the 3 unique herbal ingredients in Beautiful Mind Coffee, visit www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca. Beautiful Mind Coffee is now available online at amazon.ca and amazon.com. To order Beautiful Mind Coffee, visit www.beautifulmindcoffee.ca today.